All right, number one, playing the same note 3 times in a row before we change to the next one. Constant picking. Count of 3, 60 beats per minute. 1, 2, 3. 21, 2, 1, 2, 3. One 80. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 240. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. All right, number 2. So we got the dotted quarter notes at the end of each bar here and at the start of each bar here. Remember, a dotted quarter note is that much, 3/8 notes. Again, dotted quarter note is the length of 3/8 notes. So you're going to be strumming this down, up, 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 down. We're continuing the strum down or pick down on the down beat, pick up on the up beat. When you get to those dotted quarter notes, keep the hand moving even though you're not hitting stuff. So when you get here, that being on the up beat of 2, so the and of 2, you're going to hit that, and then you're going to do a pick stroke but miss it on the down of 3, and a missed pick stroke on the upbeat of 3. So basically, well, just really watch my right hand. I think that's the best way to explain this right now. Here we go with number 2. Really watching my picking hand, 60 beats per minute. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I very much exaggerated the missed pick strokes or ghost strokes. This way it was easy to see. I don't recommend doing that big. In fact, don't do it that big. That's just silly. But that's the idea. Keep the picking hand moving to stay in time with the metronome. Just keep it moving. 120. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 180. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 240. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Oh man, this is a pain in the butt. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. There. All right. So, as far as when to make videos for this, since we're going to be meeting again in 2 weeks, I know we got a bit of a time zone difference. For me, it'll be the 14th, Wednesday the 14th. I'm not sure if you actually do it like the next day or not. Anyway, so yeah, Wednesday the 14th. We'll meet again. And no need to wait until then to make videos. once you reach a point where you feel you've been at the same speed or you're stuck at the same speed for 3 days in a row, send something over. Just go ahead and get it done then. Now, chord stuff. So what we're going to do, we're going to use what you have here for the key of C, G, and F. C, G, and F. Reference that stuff as much as you need to. Because what we are going to do, hang on. We're going to use this. Let's see. There we go. Okay. All right. So, it says play the following 4 progressions in the keys of C, G, and F. So, this is just one example of what you can do, and I'm going to demonstrate it, but strumming each chord 4 times. Strum 3 if you're having a hard time transitioning chords. Strum the last chord only once. So, following the Roman numerals here, if you look close, you'll see that this is repeated, and then the first chord of the progression is the last chord. So, same thing for all of these. The first 4 chords establishes the whole progression. So these are the 4 chords for the second one because that's repeated. So here we do that twice again. 6, 4, 1, 5, 6, 4, 1, 5. And then down here we got the 6, 7, 1, 2. 6, 7, 1, 2. And with 6 again. So what I want you to do in practicing this, and no need for a video on this. This is fine for like a good old honor system type thing. And we'll be doing lots of stuff with these chords anyway. And this could take a long time to get, but to make sure that it's not taking too much time, this is the thing to do. Until you can get a good, solid, album-worthy take of playing this progression in the key of C, you don't do any other progressions. This has to be completed. This highlighted one right here, you have to do it in the key of C. A good take before you move on to the next one. One and done. Once you get this done, that's it. You're done. Then you move on to the next progression, still in the key of C. Stay on this one until you get it, and then you're done. Then move on to this, key of C, and then move on to this one, key of C. So you're going to stay in the key of C for all 4 of these. Once you complete that, then you move on to the key of G. So stay with one progression until it's done, and then stay with one key until all 4 progressions are done. So that's it, just one and done. There's no going back and redoing things. This way, and you can do like 1 or 2 progressions a day would be a good idea, a good thing to shoot for. So, like doing it that way, you'll naturally have to focus on whichever ones give you the most trouble. Because, again, don't move on to another one until you got the one you're done, or got the one done you're working on. So some people might think, oh, well, I'm running out of time. The week's almost up. In our case, 2 weeks. Or it's almost time for the next lesson. I better move on to the others. No. Stay with what you need to be working with before we move on. So, some things to do here. Follow what it says there. And this is just to keep it real simple. You can make it fancier if you want. But a lot of people, when they're learning these chords, have a very difficult time transitioning. So, set a metronome to help you out. Make sure you're not going too fast. So I'll do it at good old 60. So, first progression, key of C, 1, 6, 3, 5. Here we go. So you do it like this, going 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So you're strumming each chord 4 times, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Chord number 6. Chord number 3. Chord number 5. Chord number 1. And the last chord, just strum once and you're done. So, that's one way of doing it. And if for whatever reason, if there's a chord progression that is just too difficult for you to do in that way, like a lot of people struggle with the diminished stuff, so that's the 4th progression, you'll have a diminished chord. So this is another option. Like it says, strum 3 times. So what that means is you'll still be in a 4/4 time signature. You'll strum on the 1, 2, 3. Then on beat number 4, mute the strings and start getting your hand in position for the next chord. Something like this. So you got 1, 2, 3, switch. 1, 2, 3, switch. 1, 2, 3, switch. 1, 2, 3, switch, and so on. Or if you're having a nice easy time changing chords, strum it however you want. You could get really fancy with it if you'd like. So, you set the difficulty. All I want you to do is get through each progression one time. That's all you got to do. Don't write out the progression, though. Reference it, the chords that you have, go back and forth, maybe have both this PDF on screen, have that on your monitor, plus the guitar profile with the chords, maybe up on the same screen. Kind of look back and forth. But eventually, what the goal is to be able to look at the Roman numeral and know what happens in that position. So, that's why we don't want to write this stuff out completely. Because if you're always writing it out, it's not the worst thing you can do, but I feel like it would make things go slower in learning what's happening. So just remember, the 1, 4, 5 always major, 2, 3, 6 always minor, 7th is always diminished, and you just got to plug in the right chord at the correct root note. 1, 4, 5 major, 2, 3, 6 minor, 7 is diminished. That about covers it. If you have any questions, let me know. I will see you again on the 14th.